there's a powerful truth rising to the surface. Someone you trusted deeply has wronged you in a way that cuts to the core. This wasn't a small misstep. This was a betrayal that fractures the very foundation of trust. It wasn't just any person. This was someone close. A figure you thought would always stand beside you, unwavering and loyal. They've taken something valuable, something that belongs to you in every sense, and they thought their deception could remain hidden. But now, the truth is breaking through, vivid and undeniable. Chosen ones, if you've ever felt betrayed by someone you trusted, then listen closely to this message. For those of you who sense an unease, who feel a truth emerging, this might be exactly what you need to hear. Be sure to listen to the very end. Subscribe to the Awakening Pulse. Drop up 999 in the comments if this resonates, and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Think of who this might be: a parent, a sibling, perhaps a friend or a confidant. This person held a central role in your life, a pillar of support that you leaned on without question. With them, you shared not only time and space, but also your beliefs, hopes, and even vulnerabilities. Unknowingly, you handed them a key to the depths of your innermost self, allowing them into a part of your world few others could touch. And now, that very trust, built so carefully, cherished so deeply, is being shattered by their actions. Little by little, you start noticing things. At first, it's subtle new possessions, an air of extravagance where simplicity once reigned. They carry themselves differently now, not with pride, but with a shadowed caution, their movements no longer transparent. You may catch their furtive glances, or a hint of discomfort when they think you're not looking, the unease seeping through. It's as if you can smell deception in the air. A heavy, oppressive presence, staining everything pure and close to you. This isn't about losing a simple possession. They took something deeper, something woven into the very fabric of your own identity, aspirations and dreams. They exploited the bond you believed was sacred, twisting it to serve their own gain. And while they might try to cover it up with hollow reassurances and empty smiles, each word they say now carries a weight that cannot be ignored. A silent accusation that sits between you. If you look closely, you'll see the trail they left behind. The signs are their unchecked receipts, whispered conversations, the strained laughter that holds no warmth. It's not just a change in their outward life, it's a shift in their very presence. They move with the practiced grace of someone hoping not to get caught, avoiding your eyes, dancing around the truth. But now, the truth is breaking through, unfiltered and raw. This betrayal cuts deeper than words because it comes from someone who once wielded the power of protector, mentor, or confidant. They took what was yours, siphoning away what you cherished. But you're not here to stay silent. You're here to confront what was hidden, to reclaim what was taken. As awareness dawns, the wound deepens. Each memory you revisit, each piece of trust you placed in them, now reverberates with the sting of betrayal, tarnished by the harsh reality of what they've done. They thought they could bury the truth, and with it, bury you beneath the weight of their lies. But stone by stone, their fortress of deceit crumbles, and here you stand amidst the shattered fragments of what once was, illuminated by the stark clarity of their wrongdoing. This betrayal sought to break you from the inside out. They faced a choice, a path of truth, loyalty, and integrity, glowing with the light of honesty and mutual respect, rooted in the bonds they claimed to hold dear. Yet, they turned from it. Instead of honoring trust, they let their hunger for gain drown out the quiet voice of conscience. Greed wound its way around their heart, like a poisonous vine that chokes out everything pure, squeezing out the very trust they once inspired. Their choice laid bare their true nature. A seed of corruption took root, spreading insidiously, casting a shadow over every encounter, every promise, every word they ever spoke to you. They became an empty shell, a person no longer led by values, but by a consuming need to take, to hoard, to possess. It shows in how they shrink from genuine connection now, how they avert their gaze, knowing that behind their eyes lies the naked face of betrayal. They are ensnared in a net of their own making, threads woven from their own lies. Every interaction with them now reeks of falseness. The stale residue of a once sacred trust shattered. Their once welcoming demeanor is tainted with the stench of deceit. Even their laughter has lost its warmth, reduced to a hollow echo, a mockery of what you once shared. Greed does not merely consume wealth, it devours character, leaving behind nothing but an insatiable hunger and the constant dread of exposure. They tread carefully now, not from respect, but from paralyzing fear. The fear that one wrong step will crack open their fragile facade and reveal the darkness within. Every answer they give is layered with hesitation. Their hands quiver slightly under the weight of their deception. But they fail to see that greed has left its unmistakable mark upon them. And those who once held them dear now see through the thin veil they desperately cling to. They thought they could escape the consequences, that their greed would remain hidden. But greed is a poison that seeps through every aspect of life, eating away at the foundations of trust. Integrity, once a guiding star, now hovers just beyond their reach, a distant light they abandoned for something more seductive and self-serving. Their choice has branded them unmistakably, casting them beyond the realms of trustworthiness or loyalty. Now, you see them clearly, as scales fall from your eyes, and their true nature stands exposed. Their choice severed the sacred bond between you, and all that remains is a brittle silence, the heavy weight of unspoken truths. Greed, once it takes root, cannot coexist with loyalty, respect, or love. This betrayal is not only yours to carry, its weight reverberates through the very fabric of your family, like cracks spreading across stone, threatening to shatter bonds once thought unbreakable. They struck with precision, aiming to wound in the place that hurts most, the heart of what was meant to remain sacred. This was not a minor transgression. It was a calculated move, a betrayal that cannot be brushed aside. This betrayal is not an isolated wound, it's a ripple that, once set in motion, surges outward, colliding with the lives of those who never asked for such turmoil. Its impact reshapes the very landscape of your family in irreversible ways, tearing into something precious, something as foundational as family inheritance, a legacy meant to be cherished, preserved, and passed down with respect, now tainted by their greed. What should have symbolized unity and shared purpose is now stained with a betrayal that echoes through generations. They reached in the heart of this shared blessing, taking what wasn't solely theirs to take, contaminating memories and severing loyalties. Their actions rob not only you, but those who are yet to come, of a shared pride, a collective security, a foundation of trust. What once should have represented the strength of your family now serves as a stark reminder of selfishness and betrayal. The inheritance they distorted was more than material wealth. It was the lineage, a trust woven through lives and sacrifices, each strand built on the shared commitment to one another. In one self-serving choice, they fractured it all, turning a legacy of unity into an enduring mark of betrayal. Their deceit lingers like an unspoken ghost, haunting every gathering. Conversations are strained under its invisible weight, and glances are charged with unuttered grief and resentment. This betrayal has left an indelible mark on the family, creeping into every moment, every shared memory, every fragment of what once held meaning. Where love once thrived, a dark chasm now resides, a hollow place where laughter and warmth used to be. The betrayal has cut to the bone, and as you look around, you see its impact on everyone. It's not only your heart that aches, but that of the entire family, collectively mourning the loss of something deeply precious. The trust that once knit everyone together has unraveled, thread by painful thread. The ache isn't just in the material loss, it's in the loss of connection, the quiet bond that once spoke of unity and love. Now, that bond stands bruised, frayed, weakened by the selfishness of one who could not honor what was given freely. Their betrayal is not just a single act, but an enduring scar that seeps into family lore, a stain that will remain etched in the family's story, a distortion of the legacy left behind. In gatherings now, silence replaces what was once laughter and shared joy. Family heirlooms that used to spark fond memories now serve as painful reminders of broken trust. You and your loved ones carry the weight of this loss. A loss that goes beyond material wealth, reaching into the very heart of what it means to trust, to love, to be part of something greater than oneself. This was a bond meant to withstand life's trials, yet here it stands, bruised and broken by the selfish choice of one who could not honor it. This betrayal has left a scar, one that will linger in the stories you tell, forever changing the legacy. It is no longer a single act, it is an enduring wound, a reminder of their choice to take rather than to preserve. And as you reflect, perhaps a faint tremor within you grows, an instinct that knew, even before the truth was fully revealed, that something was amiss. Intuition is an ancient, powerful force that often speaks in whispers, urging you to look closer, to question, to notice the undercurrents of deceit lurking beneath the surface. In moments of silence, perhaps it surfaced. A heaviness, a faint whisper urging you to pay attention, to trust that feeling within. This awareness was no paranoia, it was your inner wisdom calling out, a deeper self reaching forward to shield you. Dreams may have woven cryptic warnings, glimpses of betrayal hidden in shadows, scenes revealing what your waking mind resisted. Such visions are not mere coincidence, they are messages from the depths, truth striving to be seen. And know this: karma is unyielding. Every act of betrayal sets off consequences that cannot be escaped. They have chosen a path, one where every step reverberates with the weight of their choices. Karma does not forget, nor does it spare those who plant seeds of betrayal in the lives of others. Their actions have initiated a transformation that will inevitably return to them. In time, the universe reshapes itself around their deeds, and the echo of their actions will find its way back, for betrayal, once unleashed, has consequences that resonate beyond the moment, beyond the one wronged, touching all who are woven into the story. They are now bound by the weight of their own choices, and this burden will follow them, casting shadows into every corner of their life. As the ripples of their betrayal spread, they find themselves standing increasingly alone, not by mere circumstance, but through the inevitable force of their own actions circling back upon them. This is karma's silent justice, a shadow creeping in with each dawn, precise and unyielding, uncovering truths they sought to bury. They may try to escape, seeking refuge in new circles, masking themselves with borrowed smiles and shallow gestures of affection. Yet no disguise can shield them from the consequences of their choices. The same intuition that once guided you now becomes an unseen force in their lives, subtly revealing the truth they tried to conceal, turning allies into strangers and leaving them to confront the weight of their deeds. Every relationship they touch now bears an unease, an undeniable fracture, as others too begin to see through the thin veil of their deception. They believed they could rewrite reality, twist trust, and manipulate belief. But karma works with meticulous persistence, holding them accountable for every promise shattered and every trust abused. This is not simply poetic justice, it is a profound isolation, an unraveling that no words or apologies can ever repair. While they are left to face the void of their own actions, you stand empowered, guided by your intuition and the clarity that truth, like karma, is relentless and cannot be silenced. Their betrayal has crossed a threshold, entering a realm where mere apologies hold no weight. This is not a wound time alone can heal, for they have ventured into a domain of action and consequence. A realm where justice is both a right and a necessity. They thought they could trample over trust, confident the law would never catch up. But the truth stands firm, drawing their deceit into the light. This moment demands a calm, calculating focus, a resolve that rises above anger, for anger, though justified, can be a distraction from the true pursuit of what is rightfully yours. As you contemplate your next steps, think of justice as the force that reclaims what was taken, restoring balance to the chaos they created. The law does not bend to pleas or regrets. It stands impartial, prepared to measure their actions on the scales of accountability. With the steady support of justice, their illusions of escape begin to crumble. The path forward may lead through courtrooms, through papers where their betrayal is dissected under scrutiny. They may try to weave excuses or shield themselves with falsities, but no mask can remain intact in the face of justice. Every intention, every action will be laid bare, an undeniable testament to their attempt at deceit. What drives you now is not vengeance but a deep-seated need for truth and restoration. Each step, each legal maneuver fortifies your position, casting their actions into stark relief against the unyielding light of consequence. The foundation they sought to destabilize will become their undoing, as the law itself becomes a silent witness to their deeds. Authorities, guided by principles of truth and accountability, will not be swayed by emotions or empty words. What they dismissed as a simple betrayal will unfold as a reckoning, an unveiling of their actions in a light no shadow can conceal. They may feel untouchable, but justice has a reach far deeper than they anticipated. It is not swift, but it is inevitable, moving with the patience of a tide that, once set in motion, cannot be stopped. Pursuing legal recourse aligns you with the resolute force of justice, reclaiming the rights they so boldly tried to violate. This process, while arduous, is the ultimate form of vindication, a means to restore what they sought to destroy. As the weight of each misstep bears down on them, tightening like a closing vice, they will feel the consequence of every choice. Justice is moving forward, with or without fanfare, ensuring that balance is restored. You stand empowered, knowing that truth, once armed with the law, is a force they cannot evade. Their unraveling has already begun, and the illusion they once cloaked themselves in disintegrates, thread by deceitful thread. The crowd they once counted on begins to thin, as those around them start to pull away, sensing the smoldering ruin beneath the mask they so carefully constructed. What once passed as charm now reveals itself as manipulation. What once seemed like camaraderie now feels tainted, hollow, repelling those who once stood by their side. They find themselves increasingly isolated, as the karmic debt they incurred begins its relentless call. Financial losses strike with the force of a storm, toppling the careful constructions they built. Their empire, once secure in deception, begins to crumble, one foundation stone at a time. The isolation they now face is not merely social, but internal, a growing awareness of the emptiness that fueled their actions. They are left to face the hollowness of their greed and the stark truth that their actions have led them to this desolation. This is karma in motion, a justice that does not discriminate, a force that sees through all illusions and brings every hidden act into the light. As they try to evade the consequences, they will find themselves ensnared by their own misdeeds, bound to a fate they themselves set in motion. They are left to confront the reality of their choices, while you move forward, fortified by the clarity that truth, once revealed, cannot be hidden again. Their actions have stripped them of security, transforming every possession into a reminder of what they sought to wrongfully possess. Money, the currency of their ambition, now slips through their hands like water from a clenched fist, leaving behind only the unyielding reality of consequence. The choices they once believed were clever strategies have turned into traps they laid for themselves, binding them to the ruin they once hoped to evade. They thought they were untouchable. Yet here they stand, laid bare by the very ambitions that once fueled them, confronted daily by the weight of what they've lost. Those who once trusted them, who looked to them as a confidant, now look their way with suspicion, their eyes holding the quiet disdain of betrayal. Every attempt to mend the fractures they created only deepens them, For sincerity cannot be faked, and truth cannot be outrun. Familiar spaces become foreign, even hostile, and the silence surrounding them thickens. Each word and gesture from others a stark reminder of the trust they shattered. No longer the person they once pretended to be, they become a shadow, haunting spaces they can no longer fill, left to wander a wasteland of their own making. Friends, once loyal allies, no longer answer calls or return favors. Ties that once seemed unbreakable are severed, as if those around them instinctively recoil, distancing themselves from the taint left by their actions. Every bridge they fortified with charm and charisma is now burned, leaving them to bear the full weight of isolation. The emptiness they encounter is profound, echoing with the bitterness of solitude, a loneliness of their own creation. As their world crumbles, they're left to confront an unavoidable truth: karma spares no one. Their misdeeds return to haunt them like specters, breaking down the walls they once built to shield themselves. What they once called ambition now reveals itself as mere hubris, and every consequence they face becomes a mirror, reflecting the path they willingly chose. No longer the orchestrator of their own fate, they are now the subject of a downfall orchestrated by their own hand. Every ounce of trust they stole, every opportunity they took for themselves, will find its way back to you as the unseen forces of justice begin to shift. The scales, once unbalanced by their betrayal, are already recalibrating, pressing against them with relentless precision. They who sought to silence you and manipulate loyalty now face the full weight of their actions, inescapable and undeniable. There is no refuge, no corner dark enough to hide from the karmic debt they've accrued. Your calmness, your refusal to react with anger, becomes a power beyond any retaliation. While they tremble in the wake of their unraveling, you remain rooted, unwavering, witnessing as the universe holds them accountable in ways they never anticipated. Anger, though tempting, is an energy they no longer deserve. Instead, you embody patience, the force that allows karma to fully reveal itself. Justice has been set into motion, and its reach is far, pulling everything into balance and returning to you what was rightfully yours. They will face these consequences, not because you demanded it, but because truth itself demands it. In this moment, you rise above the turmoil, no longer weighed down by the drama they created. Their grip weakens, their lies dissolve, and your integrity shines untarnished. Trust that truth, though quiet and enduring, has always been on your side, and as each day passes, you stand stronger, witnessing the steady unfolding of justice. Now you hold a story of resilience, one worth sharing. There are others who walk a path of uncertainty, who may feel isolated in the face of betrayal, unaware that they too possess the strength to rise. Share your journey, not to relive the pain, but to show the strength that brought you through it. Let your story be a light for those seeking to move beyond deception and reclaim what was taken. Show them the power of silence, the wisdom of patience, and the assurance that justice, though quiet, is unstoppable. You are not only a survivor, you are a guide, a reminder that justice, though it may move subtly, carries a force that is undeniable. In the face of betrayal, patience is your strongest shield, and truth is your unwavering ally. Stand firm, for karma will find its way, as it always does. If this story has awakened a sense of strength within you, subscribe to the Awakening Pulse to journey together on the path of awakening. Share this video with those who need inner peace and strength in every step.